Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Downriver Rescue Connection. I'm your host, Patty Radakovich, and I am proud to present to you the newest show highlighting the animal rescue community and animal-related topics. In this first episode, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the concept of the show and how it came into being, as well as introduce you to some of the wonderful volunteers that make the filming of this show possible. Let me start by introducing myself. I am the founder and chairman of Basil's Buddies, a not-for-profit animal welfare organization serving the Downriver community and beyond. In addition to doing rescue, I like to say that we work on the other side of the rescue equation, and that is helping keep people with their pets so they don't end up in the already overpopulated rescue system. We run a pet food bank for low-income and unemployed individuals. We host a monthly low-cost vaccine clinic that is open to the public, and we have many other programs and services that help to support our mission. But you'll hear a lot about our group in the upcoming episodes. Let me tell you more about the show again. Many people don't realize that the entire rescue community is connected and that we all have to work together to reach our common goals. No one person or group can do rescue by themselves entirely. It takes veterinarians, volunteers, local government, business people, donors, and the general public all working towards supporting homeless pets. It truly does take an entire community to do rescue work. At Basil's Buddies, we have been trying to figure out how to formally connect all of the rescue organizations and highlight the specialties that each of those organizations have in order to allow for rescue groups to work together more efficiently and to provide the public streamlined services so you know exactly who to call when a particular problem arises. What better way to do that than through the power of television? And so Downriver Rescue Connection was born. We have a great lineup of guests coming to our show in the upcoming episodes, so we hope you keep watching. If you ever have an idea for a topic that you'd like us to cover, or if you have a person or organization that you think would make a great guest for the show, please go to our website at www.basilsbuddies.org and submit your suggestion. All feedback is welcome. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking for, I wanted to reiterate that the purpose of our show is to provide education on animal-related topics, introduce you to various rescue organizations, shelters, and supporting organizations in the Downriver community and Southeast Michigan area, as well as highlight local adoptable pets. Some of the guests that we already have lined up include different Downriver rescues, websites that help to promote rescue organizations as well as lost pets and other supporting services, veterinarians, and just other organizations such as the volunteers from Leader Dogs for the Blind, as well as individuals who do unique types of rescue. So if you know of any of those organizations or more that you think might make a good topic or might be a good guest for our show, please do go to our website and fill out the form. Now that I've told you a little bit about the show, I want to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes and have you meet the volunteers I was talking about earlier. But first, I want to give a big thank you to the City of Wyandotte and Wyandotte Cable for allowing us to film our show in their studios. I'd first like to bring out the man that made this all possible, Wyandotte Cable's studio program director, Steve Colwell. Hi, Steve.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having me. Thank you, thank you.
So Steve, I wanted to ask you, what did you first think when I introduced you to the concept of the show?
I guess the first thing I thought is like, wow, I wonder if she knows how much work this is going to be. Because that's the thing that most people kind of forget. There is quite a bit of effort that goes into doing public access show even. But I did think, well, it's a different kind of show. I like having a variety of shows on our channel, and it's something we don't have going right now, so I was happy about that.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. So what do you think this will do to impact the community in forms of animal rescue?
Well, you know, when it comes to that, I mean, probably any publicity that gets out there is helpful. I know, you always hear about, like, if you hear of an animal that appears on television, for whatever reason, that makes it really real to people. They see the animals as an individual. So you can hear about, animals in shelters and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you can sort of ignore it. But when you actually, you hear the stories and see pictures a little bit, it makes it so much more real. So hopefully it'll actually increase animal adoption. And I know you want to also create awareness about spaying and neutering and keeping the population under control.
Right. Well, thank you very much for allowing us to use the studios and for training all of our volunteers to show us how we can use the equipment.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. A real good group you got here.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to bring out Crystal Butner, who is our producer for the show. Crystal has been volunteering with Basil's Buddies for quite some time, and actually her whole family volunteers with our group as well. So Crystal, welcome, and thank you very much for volunteering with us. So tell us a little bit about the animals that you have at home, because you have all rescue animals, correct?
Yes. Our Alaska Malamute, we saved them from home. The family didn't want them, and if they were going to give them up to one of those rescue shelters, they would have gave him up right away because of how big he is. Scooby, which is our beagle, he has a cleft lip, and not many animals had those. And a lot of his brothers and sisters got adopted, but by the time he was the only one left, no one wanted to adopt him because they thought that he needed another surgery. Well, he didn't, but he's still a good dog, and we love him heck to death. Our dog Sammy, my parents were looking for a cat and ended up finding a Cocker Spaniel. Ended up peeing on my mom, but she loved it right away after that. And we saved him from being put in the shelter and going through a whole bunch of people trying to find him a home. And then Charlie is our cat. We also got him from a rescue shelter. He was really cute. My dad really wanted one, so we got him a home.
Great. So the one dog marked your mother, and that was that he defined his territory, and you finally got your cat.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Crystal. All right, and the next volunteer that I want to introduce you to is Amber Murphy. And Amber has been doing rescue for quite some time. And Amber, tell us a little bit about the rescue that you do, because you do something a little bit unique.
Well, I rescue wildlife, like I help with it, rescue wild birds and stuff. Pretty much any animal that needs help, I'm there. I've rescued pigeons, seagulls, groundhogs, cats, dogs. Pretty much any animal that needs help.
Great.
It's fun, yeah.
Well, we appreciate your efforts that you have for the wild animals. And thank you very much for volunteering. So the next one that we have is Elena. Elena has been with Basil's Buddies since the beginning, and she is our graphic designer and our photographer. But Elena has been doing rescue work and has had a love of animals for a while. So tell us how you started, what started your love of animals?
Well, I've had dogs since I was a kid, and a few years ago I started offering design services to a different rescue group that helped military service members overseas that had formed attachments to animals, and they brought them back to the U.S. But I wanted to find a group locally to work with, so I saw an ad for Basil's Buddies, and that's how I contacted you.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate all of the volunteering you've done in the past and that you're helping us with this show, too.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so now I want to introduce you to Pat Clement. So Pat does a type of work that I find very fascinating. We're actually going to have a whole show about this later, so tell us what it is that you do. What type of animals do you work with?
I help with leader dogs for the blind. I raise puppies, and we keep them for a year, and then they go back to the school to be trained for leader dogs. And then I also help out with another Downriver rescue that's in Belleville, FMAR, and I've been helping them. So I've been doing this for about 6 years now.
Great.
And I really care about the dogs.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and we really appreciate your contributions.
You're welcome.
All right, so we still have some more volunteers that I wanted to introduce you to. Jane and Christina Fijal. If you guys would like to come and introduce yourselves. They're working on a camera right now, so we're going to squeeze them in here. All right.
Hello.
Hi, Jane, and welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
And Christina is coming along. And Christina and Jane are a mother and daughter team. So tell us, like, you guys volunteer for another local shelter. So tell us about that shelter.
That's true. We have been just around this time, 4 years ago, we started working for Grocery Animal Shelter, Christina and I.
Yes, and that's a fascinating shelter. They're one of the few no-kill shelters in the area.
Oh yeah, and I just love Grocery. It's so beautiful and it's very friendly, and we do a lot for the animals. We're doing it from fundraising, transporting the cats and dogs, and we even poop the litter too, and that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, poop the litter. Oops.
So, Christina, now you've been working on a project for about a year or so. So why don't you tell us what that project involved with animals?
Well, I am raising a leader dog for the blind too, like Pat, and his name is Marlin, and he's doing pretty well. And, you know, he's going back in May, and I'm not looking forward to that. But hopefully we'll have another dog after him. We'll see.
Okay, and what have you learned from working with the leader dog?
What have you learned?
Well, that it takes a lot to take care of a dog, a lot. Because it's like having a kid, because, you know, that you have to feed them and take care of them and love them, and it takes a lot.
And you have to train these ones too.
Yes,
Specifically.
yes.
You have to train all dogs,
Yes.
but this is a special type of training.
Yes.
So. So we thank you guys for your contributions, and we are looking forward to working with you on this show.
Me too. Thank you.
Right. And I believe we have one more volunteer that's in the studio tonight who is being a little camera shy, but she will come on. It happens to be my mother. We have several mother-daughter teams that are working on this show, so I would like to introduce you to Sophie Radikovich. If you want to come on out here. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi.
So tell us, how long have you been rescuing animals with your husband?
Oh, well, we have a lot of animals that are outside animals that we feed because we live on 5 acres. So there's always cats around for some reason, and somehow they always find their way to our back porch because we feed the cats, and we do try to rescue some. We've taken some in and then had them neutered, and some of them successfully we have been able to adopt out. Others not so much, and so we let them go because they're just feral cats, and so they still come to the back porch.
So yes, they have a feral cat colony outside their home for several years, and they have been doing more and more trap, neuter, return with those cats so that they don't continue to overpopulate the area. And they've been doing pretty good at controlling the population in their area. Some cats are proving a little bit difficult to catch, but for the most part, they're doing a pretty good job. And we're going to have a whole show about feral cat colonies and how to do trap, neuter, return, and to take care of the feral cat colonies. So thank you very much for your assistance. And we do have more volunteers that are working on the show, but they were not all able to make it to the filming of today's episode, so you'll meet them in future episodes. Thank you for watching Downriver Rescue Connection. We look forward to a future where all pets are treated like family and everyone has a home. Until that time, we invite you to be part of the solution. And remember, please spay and neuter your pets. See you next time.